rather than just you by yourself. Okay?
But Joe Lieberman, I've never seen Joe Lieberman myself come down into the community. The gospel affairs to walk our streets to come and just address so. I've been watching the commercials on TV. I think that you look like you win a little bit. But here's the pastor. You have your words. Go ahead.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Morris. I really appreciate being invited and an opportunity to listen. Just wanted to say a couple of things. You know, I've been blessed. I've been blessed because I had the opportunity to start up a great company. I was blessed because I was born into a great country where I had the freedom to worship and the freedom to dream. And most importantly, listening to you folks here, well, my folks here, I was blessed because I had wonderful parents. And there's no greater blessing. There's no greater blessing than having wonderful parents. My dad has been active in the vestry in our local church forever. He has started his career as a banker, and he ended his career as the president and then chairman of the Children's Aid Society in New York City, the largest social welfare agency in the city. And I'm so proud of him. One of the things they did in his watch was they said school doesn't stop at 2:30 in the afternoon. School is a community center. School is there for parents. School is there for kids. And school keeps going until mom or dad can come and pick the child up at the end of the day. My mom was almost perfect. My mom was almost perfect. My mom was born and raised in Puerto Rico, grew up speaking Spanish. And she said, "Ned, why don't you learn to speak French?" And that's been no help in the Democratic primary at all. But I've been blessed to have wonderful parents, and just listening to the conversation, listening about our kids, you know, that's where it starts. And we're people of faith to get involved. Help parents be good parents. I got a household full of teenagers, and I've got a wonderful wife. We're there side by side, and I just, sometimes it's tough, and you need help. And I think people of faith can lend a lot there. I mentioned my family and my business. I spent most of my life involved in education. I've been teaching at a Harding High School in Bridgeport, Connecticut for some years now. I was teaching a class called How to Start Your Own Business. And one day as they're teaching that class, about a year ago, I was telling the kids that if you work hard, you play by the rules, and you make good choices, you know, opportunity is going to come your way. But as I was telling them that, I was thinking that we have to stay, leaving our country, leaving our cities, and I worry about the opportunities for our kids. You talk about violence, you talk about neglect. It's a lot about dreaming, it's a lot about opportunities out there, and that's one of the reasons I so much want to be your U.S. Senator, because I think we can do better. Because I think right now we have a country that's making a lot of bad choices. It just seems to me, how come we're in a country that can afford to spend $250 million a day over there in Iraq, and yet Harding High School shuts down at 2:30 in the afternoon. These kids are going home, in many cases, to an empty house. And it's not because they don't have a mom that loves them dearly, but as you pointed out, you've got a mom that's working a job and a half or 2 jobs and would love to be anywhere to be there with their kid, but can't be there because you got to put bread on the table. I think we're spending a lot of money over there, and what happened to community policing? That was one of the things that President Bill Clinton did. He said, look, let's get the guns off our street, let's have our cops on the street, they have a beat, they get to know the kids, they get to know the parents, and they're not outsiders, but they become part of the community. And we've cut back on that. They say we can't afford it. We can afford these things, but our priorities are wrong. Our priorities are all wrong right now. I look at education. I look at the fact that we're cutting back on student loans. We're cutting back on all the ways that kids can reach a little higher and dream, and give them a chance to go beyond high school, and give them a chance to learn a trade. And we're cutting back on those things. And that's because we're spending money in places we shouldn't. We're cutting taxes for people who don't deserve to have their taxes cut, and then we're asking the wrong people to make the sacrifices. Our kids. I think we're shortchanging our kids. And that's why I'm in this race. So look, with that, I just wanted to leave you that message, and I really enjoyed being here as part of this conversation. I think violence is sometimes due to a lack of hope, it's a lack of dreams, and it's talk about enemies, sometimes neglect is that enemy. And I really think that people of faith can be so much in terms of helping parents and inspiring these kids, and I'm proud to be here with you all. Thank you.
Your feeling about any citizen having insurance, medical insurance, okay, that's a big issue, okay, in the community. Whereas the parents can't afford it for the baby, the adults don't have insurance, okay. How do you oppose that issue?
Insurance. I think Democrats have got to stand for things. And one of the things we stand for is that health insurance is a basic right for each and every American. Let's say that and let's achieve that. And the first thing I notice is that that 2/3 of the people who are uninsured in this country are working, or they have somebody in their family that's working a 40 or 50-hour week. But they just can't afford the health insurance that's offered, if it's offered at all. So the first thing we do is say work should pay a decent wage, and it should include health insurance. And that will take care of almost all the folks who are uninsured, and the rest are kids, so we're going to make darn sure that the state and the feds step in and make sure that every single kid is insured before they leave that hospital. And health insurance is also important because it says so much about jobs. I mean, we have a system, I think, in this country that's broken. I think the way we deliver health care is broken. We have something called Medicare Part D, which is supposed to provide a drug benefit for all the elderly in this state and in this country. And yet they make the cost of drugs so expensive because they won't even let the federal government negotiate the price of drugs with the pharmaceutical companies. So when I say I think we're making some bad decisions, that's part of it. And I also think we have to decide what we're for. We believe that health insurance is a basic right for all Americans, and that's going to be a priority if I get a chance to represent you in the Senate.
And you know, economics means that big business for the bottom line. Okay. But we also know there's a tale of two cities in the state of Connecticut. There's the poor and those that don't have, and those that do have. What would you see as a solution to meeting inner city needs for those youths or families that are a part of that economic system? And how can they really thrive and benefit in the state of Connecticut?
And for the state of Connecticut is to make darn sure we start investing in our cities again. Our state will only be as great as its cities. New Haven, Bridgeport, Hartford, these were three of the richest cities on the face of this earth, not just the United States, but the face of this earth 100 years ago. And the reason jobs are leaving, they're going to the suburbs, they're going to South Carolina, they're going to China, that's not inevitable. That's happening because we're making bad decisions. You know, what do? When I say invest in our cities, you invest in your ports so the products can come in and be assembled here. You invest in public transportation. You invest in a freight system so that the products that are assembled in New Haven can then be distributed throughout the rest of the area. We make sure that there's affordable housing in New Haven so that folks can live near where they work. And most importantly, we invest in our schools. We invest in our kids, because the best advantage we have here in Connecticut, the best advantage the United States has, is a smart, well-trained workforce that are better than anybody else around the face of this earth. We're going to get good-paying jobs here in the state. They're going to be located in the city. And that's the bottom line. That's the best strategic thing we can do for the state of Connecticut.